Biggest thing for college soccer, I think, is like that's why I'm a big believer in playing with people that are older than you. You know, because
Absolutely.
the biggest transition is like you go from basically playing with people your age or maybe a year younger or maybe like a year older, but you're playing college soccer with kids that are like 3-4 years older than you. You know what I mean? And if they're internationals, they could be like
30.
Yeah,
Shout out to Courtney.
there's some players that we played with that were like 26. You know what I mean? It's like,
But I do think that's a great point because like I played up when I was younger, so like I played at Roosevelt, but they let a couple of the U16s play with the U23 team. So like that was a great experience. That's what made me think like, all right, I think I could like survive in college soccer. I'm a 16-year-old and I'm like doing pretty well. Like, all right, cool. But like I wish I had someone like that played college soccer as like a mentor. I feel like that also goes a long way. Like I didn't know anyone that played 4 years of college soccer that could like tell me anything. You know what I'm saying? Like
that definitely would have helped.
Nothing. Yeah. I didn't know like
you didn't know what you were getting yourself into.
I started like my first showcase was like junior year summer. So
late,
madly,
very late,
madly. There was so much I didn't know, and it's because like of course you're a first generation kid and stuff. So like obviously like your parents came here, went to college, and didn't come here scouted to play soccer like 9 times out of 10. So like they don't know. And then like I had 2 older brothers, but they didn't play sports or whatever. So it's just like I think if I had someone else like to just be like, yo, college soccer is just soccer, and like they explain just the ins and outs and possible politics or whatever. I feel like just that. Even like just to a heads up.
Do you think like a well-run college team that would probably be the upperclassmen?
Yeah, but ideally I'd like to know what I'm getting into first before I even meet the upper class. Because like to be fair, like where we went to school, I think we had decent upperclassmen. Like there were people that were like there for you and will help you out. Like because like freshman year, like it was a big thing. Like you got to get a ride, and like I feel like that's like part of like coaches like like reach out like. Talk to someone like you organize your ride kind of thing. So like that's where you like get your upperclassmen or whatever. So I think we did have like a solid like group of upperclassmen, but
that was
feel
weird
like,
though.
Yeah, of course it's weird. It's like it's new.
Find your way to the field.
No, but like
the field was that far. We could have walked. Biked there.
I did walk a lot of the time.
Yeah,
I biked myself the back way, but I liked it because it was like it forces you to reach out to your teammates and not just talk to them in practice. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of learn who you like and who you'd rather pick you up and shit like that. So like that ingratiating yourself in the team like that is nice. And then I feel like when we started school, like the friends I had that weren't playing sports, I felt more acclimated to the campus and everything just because we had the upperclassmen than they did. Like they'd warn you of stuff, tell you about stuff. Don't go here, go here. Like it's just nice to. I like having upperclassmen, but I wish I had like an older brother, maybe 3 years older than me, that played 4 years of college, anything.
True.
Golf, anything.
Yeah.
But playing college like made me realize how important it is to have a coach that's always on your like has your back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like basically the whole time that like I played like youth soccer and like high school and stuff, I always had a coach.
Me too.
That like
I've always
had my back no matter
coaches.
what. Like I was always obviously one of the better players on my team.
And then the coach,
but like he supported me. You know what I'm saying? Encouraged me and everything. And that's like something I didn't have in college. You know what I mean? So
that too, you kind of feel alone in a sense.
Yeah.
Because like you go from like your coach, like you're cool enough with your coach, you're cracking jokes and stuff. Like that's always been my relationship with all my coaches. Like even when I go to a new team, like after a couple practices, we're cool. If you're a cool coach, like we're laughing and everything. So like to get to college and just it be like coach, like it was weird a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And then even an assistant coach is just coach. It wasn't like I feel like even if you have like we had those player coaches that are a little cooler, but even that was still not the same.
Yeah.
Like if you feel like you got a guy in your corner, you kind of if you move a little different.
And I also realized like how important it is for like the players to like the coach as well too. Like that's a big thing. When your players don't respect you, then that's the biggest problem. And I feel like there's a lot of college coaches out there that aren't respected by their players.
Buying in is a big thing, and if you don't respect the coach,
I like how
you
you changed it from like you to respect. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, I think that's the cool part of sports is like you're going to be with a lot of people from a lot of different backgrounds, a lot of different places. And me personally, I didn't like a lot of them. I'm sure a lot of them didn't like me. But if
I mean, you were weird.
I mean, that's fair.
I'm
But
messing
if we all like respect each other and all can like agree on a common goal, then like that's enough. That was always more than enough for me. Like I never had to. I have to admit, it was better when I liked my coaches, liked my teammates. But I've also been on plenty of teams where I didn't. But yeah, when it came down to like certain teammates or coaches that I didn't respect, it was like I feel like that made it very difficult.
Yeah.
All right, so I have two questions. In your experience, which teams that you've been on were more successful? The ones where you liked people or you didn't like them? And then I have a follow-up question.
So that's a weird situation.
Just purely record.
Huh?
Just record or from what you can remember? Like
Yeah, no, it's a
style
weird
of play
situation
or
because
quality?
like the teams where I like the people and everything, we weren't playing at the highest level. But the teams did well, but we also weren't playing at the highest level. I think the teams where I didn't really get along with too many people and like maybe had a few issues with the coaches was at a higher level, but we didn't do as well. But it's also like that team would beat like the teams that I did well on by a lot because they were better. It was just a better team playing at a higher level, but we were also playing against better people, so we didn't always do so well.
All right, and then the second question, you said players and coaches you don't respect. What is it that will have you lose respect or not have respect for a player or a coach? Is it like work ethic? Is it dedication to the team and or the game itself? What to you is like I don't respect this guy. I can't buy into whatever he's talking about. Or is it knowledge of the game?
For the players, well, for me it always came down to winning, right? I feel like for a while soccer was like all encompassing. It got to a point where if I won on the weekend, like I was flying high, I was gonna have a great week at school when I was in high school, whatever. But it got to a point where like if we lost, it was like that was my whole mood. I couldn't move past it. I just carried it with me until the next game. So by the time I left high school, believe it or not, there was a lot of losing. I mean, Juan knows what we've been through. And so it got to a point where like all I cared about was winning. So if you cared about winning, you were cool with me. So like the players that I could see clearly didn't, like they lost me early because it's like, what are we doing here? Like if I'm coming here, I'm not pulling. I went through a year, 2 years of getting my ass kicked basically every weekend. So like if we're going out here, I want to leave this field with a win. You feel me? And when it comes to the coaches, it's like I really realized that I have to be playing for someone that like stands on certain principles. And one thing has to be when we say this is the rule, and we're sticking to that. When you're changing it for certain people, for certain situations, that's when you lose me. That's when I realize like you're not a man of integrity. Why would I listen to you?
Yeah, it's lip service.
You're supposed to be a leader. How can you lead if you don't if what you say doesn't matter?
Yeah.
If you say the bus leaves at 8:00, if anyone's late, we're taking off without you, or you're not playing, then how can 3 people come 10 minutes later and they start? You know what I mean? How can that happen? How can we set out rules in the beginning of the season, people break them, and there's no repercussions? When I see that, that's when I see there's no structure, there's no
and that's fair. That's fair.
So you lose me.
Especially when you're like in college, like a lot of teams like have like either a dry season or like 48-hour rule or something like that. And don't get me wrong, you could still be an amazing player and like drink as much as you want, go drunk to the game, probably play amazing. But, if a rule is set, you know what I'm saying? It's expected to be followed by everybody. You know what I mean?
And then, okay, so like I think I have a kind of different experience than you guys in terms of just teammates. So like I really put a lot into teammates. Like I like if you're my teammate off rip, I'm trusting you. I'm trusting that we're invested the same way until you prove me otherwise. Right? So like, and then I also didn't lose a lot coming into college. Like we were, because we played together forever. So like we were rolling. And then the team I went to was a college showcase team. So they were good. I slipped into defense perfectly. It was no problem. So like I didn't do a lot of losing really. So to get to college and then like have like that losing, I was kind of like out of it. Like, fuck, what is this? Like, oh my God. Like how do you, I've never had to like deal with a losing season.
Yeah.
Like, it's weird. And then it's aggravating when you have no effect on it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, if I was playing and losing, I could be mad at me. If I'm watching y'all lose, y'all losing, which is a terrible thing, but I've never had that experience. So, like, when you say, like, teammates, that would affect me too. Because I'm like, bro, like, if we're teammates and we set out a rule, you and I are on the same team, like, that means a lot to me personally.
Right.
We are teammates. So if we say, yo, no drinking 48 hours before a game, I'm not even questioning that.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to think that you would even consider drinking 40. We both wrote these out. We agreed to it as a team. So, like, to see someone not follow it, that would kind of, I would expect us to hold them accountable. Like, I would expect, like, if it's one person, 21 players, like, you're bugging, bro.
Yeah.
Come on, son. I wouldn't expect it to be, like, 12 players, like, nah, me too. You know what I'm saying? But I've never experienced it. I don't know if you guys have, but, like, I haven't experienced, or maybe I didn't know about it, but, like, I don't, it would, that does cause, like, fracturing in the team.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
lack of structure does not go far.
Yeah.
I've been on teams where, like, the coach wasn't structured, but, like, the players were structured enough
Yeah.
because they've known each other long enough to where it's like we're never gonna overstep, even though we can. We know we can with a certain coach. We're not going to, because it's not beneficial for the whole.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you don't, that's why I was saying that, like, buying in is really big. If you don't respect the coach, you can't buy in.
Of course.
And then you don't have anybody. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, for me, with a coach, respect goes, like, it sounds a little snobbish, but I gotta respect, like, your soccer IQ. Like, if I don't think you get soccer or, like, play it right, like, it's gonna be weird for me to do what you're telling me to do.
That was also one of the biggest transitions for me too, as well, because I went from being like, I played with Nick my whole life, and like we went from basically being on a team that was like kick and run to then like going on to a team that actually played good soccer, and we did lose, but we played good football. You know what I'm saying? We moved the ball around, and
We
like,
lost in style.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. And then we go to college, you know what I mean? And the style of play basically goes back to like what we started with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then I'm just like, kind of like, what the freak
And
is
then,
going on? Because I feel like when you move up, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be able to like play actual more soccer, but it becomes more like kick and run, you know what I mean? And just like
It's funny
way
that you
more
say
physical, you know? So it's just like, there's so many different styles to this. And then when you have a coach that says like, oh, I actually want to play soccer, but like we go to the game, and the first whistle is just bombing the ball up. Like, you're just like, what the freak is going on? Like,
But it's funny that you say that, because like I also, it goes back to the point where I said I wish I had someone that played 4 years of anything before, or maybe soccer specifically, but maybe basketball even, because like I was assuming like, oh, I'm going to college, this is a stone's throw away from professional. Like the style of play is going to be like what I've always kind of imagined it should be. Like, we're going to be moving the ball immaculately. Like, the passing in the back is going to be crazy. I can play my midfielder. I'm going to have a solid holding midfield. We're going to turn. Like, I'm thinking we're going to be knocking ball. And then, like, you get there and it's kind of like, oh, like, college doesn't mean, like, everyone's amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, also, like, I always thought, like, D1, 2, and 3 meant, like, oh, D3 you're trash, D2 you're whatever, D1. There's, like, not a lot of difference, like, in terms of just, like, D1 players fall D3 all the time because of money or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, there's so much that goes into it. I think you need, like, if I had a little cousin or anyone that was like serious with soccer, like, I'd have been speaking to them from like age 13 just to get them ready for it.
Yeah.
If you're really serious about soccer, you have to go like top D1 programs, because like all the other programs are. If you really want to go pro, go to the top D1's programs.
Go to Europe.
And Europe too. But if you want to make it pro, I'm talking about the U.S.
MLS, go to the draft and things like that.
Because like all the other colleges are just a distraction.
know there was a draft.
It's a distraction
for a long time. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a distraction from soccer. You know, like there's too many distractions in college. Like and too many people with different mindsets. Not everybody is playing college soccer to make it pro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or come close to making it pro. Like, there's people that just want to play a sport and enjoy their college,
and that's can't knock them. That's amazing.
That's fine. You know
Some
what I'm
people
saying?
just want a free education. I'm here on
That's
scholarship. This is my job, and that's it.
Yeah,
cool,
that's when,
brother. I respect that. But in that, everyone, whatever your reason is, your reason. But we all have to buy in at the end of the day. I feel like that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, if you want to be on a successful team.
You know,
but that's what it says. I could tell you cared much about winning.
Yeah, I don't lose at anything. we had like no. Like I have like a weird thing about like not that I don't lose.
Yeah.
I don't like to lose. That shit pisses me off. Like I don't like when I was playing like intramural. If we lost, I cry. I don't like to lose, bro. Like we played. They had like Jeopardy at work the other day on Teams. I was going mad hard. Like we won, and they're like, "Damn, Brittany, you know." I was like, "Yo, I'm guessing," but like they're like, "Yo, who won the first women's?" Me and Ham. Like yo, like I was going mad hard, bro. Like I don't like to lose. So like you saying like if someone just doesn't care about that, that would absolutely make me lose respect for you over. Why are you playing? What are you even playing for if you're not gonna like try to like? What are we playing for?
That's where I'm at. And losing, like for me,
that should piss you off.
That,
like, I can't get on a bus and laugh
like,
after
we talk
a loss,
about
yo.
like a sports psychologist or whatever. Like sometimes I'm thinking too much now in my like grown age, right? A lot of things I'm like, oh, I wouldn't take this in so seriously. I wouldn't. But like a young developing mind, 18 years old, like you're emotional about certain things. Certain
hindsight
things
is 20/20.
Yeah, you're not thinking very clearly, and losing made me like think very unclearly.
And you're immature.
Because the teams I was on, it was always like I feel like the coaches gave me a lot of responsibility. It was like, oh, you're one of the better players. Like when we win, I'll give you your props. But when we lose, like it's kind of on you.
And then to like the way that affects a player negatively. Now you're thinking when we lose, like I did my job. Like if you're a confident player, you know the coach is giving you. No, I'm saying some players are like this. Like if the coach is saying like, yo, your job is X, Y, and Z. Do you have kids that are like, I scored 2. What did y'all do? We lost 3-2. What happened in the back?
No, but thankfully, rec soccer, I always think about my 2 coaches were like probably 2 of the most competitive coaches I've had in my life. And they started me young. Was like, no, we're winning. You know, rec soccer's like, no, everyone gets a trophy. We get orange slices. No. These 2 men were like, oh, no. I'm keeping score.
Yeah.
There's no scoreboard out on the sideline. I'm going to tell you.
It's 4-0.
Yeah.
This is about winning.
We won 10-0 today, guys.
Yeah, you know who my coaches were. They didn't play around with that shit. So, like, I never looked at it as like, oh, I scored 2 today, but we lost, so I did my job. At the end of the day, it was like I was taught to win, right? So losing, like, I held. Instead of, like, ever stepping back and realizing there's 11 people on this field, maybe it's not all my fault. I was like, oh, well, if we're losing, obviously I'm not playing well enough, so it just pushed me to like, oh, let me train harder. Let me, it kind of pushed me more in that direction where probably a psychologist at the time probably could have helped me realizing it's not you. You're not the reason the team is losing. You know what I mean? But that's the way I took it at the time.
I don't know. I think when I was younger, I was good at like discerning like if we lost, like, okay, we lost as a team. Like, okay, you missed this goal. It's not your fault. But if I played badly, oh my God. I was thinking about that shit till Thursday, Friday, till the next game. So I'm like, oh, I'm locking up whoever this week. Like, if I personally played badly,
so you
like,
held it like that entire week.
Yeah.
See, luckily
like,
for
I didn't
you didn't do that much losing because that would have been that's tough when you hold it the whole week.
But if I played badly and we win, it still held it. Like if I play poorly, like that's a problem.
Right.
But
yeah, you're like the forward who scores like the team wins 6-0, but you don't score it. You're in the locker room tight.
Forward, no, I'm not gonna lie. If I was a forward and we won 6-0 and I didn't score, I'd be sick.
Yo, good game, bro. Yo, good stuff.
No, not at my teammates, at myself. Like I'd be tight still. Like yeah, we won, but like, bro, a team lost 6-0 and I couldn't win 1. Like yo, like, I'd be tight. But I mean, this was I really like this conversation. I do think a sports psychologist is. It does wonders. I've never had one, but I just assume it would do amazing.
Yeah. But for anyone younger out there who's listening and thinking about like playing in college, it sounds pretty obvious, but at the time, I could admit I probably didn't do as much as I should. But like, really look into the programs, really study the programs, figure out what you're getting yourself into because it is a big decision. It's 4 years. It's not just like. I mean, transferring in college is much easier than it was.
No, but it's like a lot of the time.
But a lot of people don't want to transfer.
Yeah, it's where you stay. Especially if you're playing in a sport. By the second week of the semester, you've made friends. You're probably gonna. I was cool with y'all the second week of the semester. We're still cool.
We weren't. That's not true.
Were we?
That's a story for a different day. That's not true.
Oh, that's true. Yo, we weren't cool for a while. Actually, that's my fault though. But we'll talk about that. But But maybe we should like do like a little even like
Yeah.
segment on just like
How we
tips.
Our experience.
No.
Just
Tips
our
for college
ex-
soccer.
Yeah, tip
like,
of college soccer.
what
Yeah,
would you-
through
what
our
would-
experience?
What would your
Recruiting
advice be to
process,
like
yeah.
a upcoming? Because even if I saw a YouTube video like this junior year, like it helped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
like
course.
we should definitely like consider doing something like that.
What's the best ways to get recruited for college soccer? In terms
Yeah,
of
like a little side series.
Well, the best ways to get recruited, and how do you know a school is going to be a good fit for you?
That's a really big one.
Because that's the
Yeah, because a lot of kids are like, I got an offer, I got
Mm-hmm.
an offer, I got an offer, and I'm just gonna pick from offers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta
go
really
on,
look.
go on visits, actually
Mhm.
watch the team play.
I literally had a visit set up
Yeah.
after the visit for our school and didn't go because I liked the visit at our school. Something like that.
Yeah, but you should have still went.
Exactly. That's
you
what
might
I'm
have-
saying. Like
you
I
might have
should
had a
what
better
if,
experience at
Exactly.
the-
And what if that coach told me something
Yeah.
different? Or, you know what I'm saying? 'Cause,
catch
like,
the vibe. Because the coach will tell you anything. That's
I
their
would.
job.
Oh my god.
The coach
yeah,
will tell
nah.
you
If
anything.
he wants
If
you-
you're a good player, he will tell you
Yo,
anything
they're really
to get
good
you
at that.
to that
They're
school.
really good at that.
And then
He'll
the second
guarantee
you
you
show
playing
up, they're
time.
like, yeah, we don't really do that here anymore.
And then I know this guy, the guy that I went on my visit with. We didn't know each other, but like we live in the same neighborhood, kind of. So like we ran into each other after that, like playing pickup soccer around and shit. And he went to
Yeah.
Howard, and he was like, "Yo, like the guy that that coach, like his lip service was crazy, but the Howard coach was spitting that game at me, boy. Like there was no way I was going up there." And I was like, "No, I feel you." But yeah, no. I think that would be a really good little series to do. Even if we do like a quick like 10-15 minute video.
I feel like this is gonna go on for like at least an hour.
Oh,
I have a
for
lot
sure.
to talk about. We
No,
can
but
start
it-
even from
it'll
like
be
high
segments. Yeah, so we'll
we
do
can go
like
from like high
yeah.
school, like or even middle school. You know what I'm saying? Like what teams to be
Middle
playing
school.
for in order for you to get
No,
like
absolutely,
the
because
best
you
amount,
got to start
the
thinking
most
about
amount
it
of
then.
looks because like
Absolutely.
and like basically one
Showcase teams.
Yeah, one player.
academy teams. Yeah, absolutely.
When players like should be like most players are already committed by like the end of their junior year already committed. So there's a lot of teams that like don't have any leftover money.
And
you
if
know
you
what I'm
wanna
saying?
go pro, we
gotta
can
give
get
that
some
older brother advice that you wish you had.